everybody, I'm back. I want to introduce this video because this and probably the next video I upload, they are still leftovers, good content from February. One I shot here right before we went to Ohio, and one is shot in Ohio. This particular one, I believe, was shot in Ohio. This is the one, and the next one will have been shot here, but in February. But anyway, you know what the title says. It is the best meatloaf you have ever had. If you're not a fan of meatloaf, give this a try one time. You will love it. You will absolutely love it. So anyway, let's get on it. Best meatloaf ever. Hey everybody, I'm sharing this with you really quick. I did have an old poor quality video and I might need to redo this again, but I'm up in Ohio, I'm making meatloaf, and I've shown you a couple of things while I'm up here. But anyway, pardon the crappy shot because we're having to rig everything, okay? Because naturally I don't have my custom built. My nephew made me a rig for at home. So anyway, we're having to do what we can. Old tripod makes a weird angle, doesn't it? Okay, in here I've got about 2 1/4 pounds of just ground beef, whatever kind you like. This is a cup of just quick oats, whatever kind you like. I'd use the quick oats because you need it to cook, in the time that the meatloaf's cooking. And to this, I've got, what that is that I just put in there is a bell pepper. I just showed you in a previous video about the bell pepper. And I minced this up, sauteed it off. But in here with it is 2 onions worth of my caramelized onions, and also I have about half of an ice cube worth of my roasted garlic, okay, which I think might be about 3 cloves. All right, so that's all dumped in together. Whoops, and I'm making a mess because this is none of my regular stuff. So anyway, that's 2 medium eggs, and this is a cup of tomato juice. I'm going to reserve some because I may not need it all. And this is about a teaspoon and 1 3/4 teaspoon of just regular salt. You can do half seasoned salt, you can do all seasoned salt, or whatever you want to do. The seasonings are to your liking. And the salt is almost completely covering the pepper, but I've got about half teaspoon of ground black pepper, freshly ground black pepper, okay? And look, now normally I would just, I'm running the camera by myself, so I've got gloves. But y'all have seen me before. I'll definitely get in there with my hands. The thing about meatloaf is you don't want to overwork it. You want to incorporate everything, but you don't want to just mix it to death because it'll toughen your meat. The longer you mix, the more it'll be getting too tough. All right, all I'm doing is making sure a little bit of everything gets throughout. And honestly, I don't think I need the rest of that tomato juice. So. And that's about it. It's all thoroughly incorporated. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn it out. This is a little awkward for me. I'm turning this, let me pull this, you can see. Oh, I got that mess of egg too. I'm turning this out onto my cookie sheet that I just lined with foil. And all I'm going to do is, since I had a little over 2 pounds of meat, it wouldn't fit just a regular pound. And y'all seen me do this before. If you ever saw the original, then you'll know I just shape them myself. You don't have to have a loaf pan for meatloaf. Goodness gracious. Just shape it yourself. And I'm shaping a little bit thinner, and it will help it get done. And I just want it, the main thing is you want it even. You don't want a fat end and a skinny end. You just want it, just kind of make it, if you see there's a little crack, just keep shaping it, coming along. Boom. I should have told you I always forget on a 350-degree oven. For about an hour, a little over an hour, you can just check it. And if you want to, you can just do it in half and do 2 little skinny loaves. And I may change my mind and do that before I stick it in. But anyway, I'll show you the sauce. I'm going to mix up the sauce. I don't need it right now, but I'm going to go ahead and mix that up for you and show you on camera. And then this will be some of the best meatloaf you ever had. And as always, my real measurements will be down below. I am using my frozen roasted garlic, and I am using my frozen roasted caramelized onions. And I did the bell pepper fresh because I just did a video for that. How simple it is. So I just threw them in the pan and sauteed them. But believe me, at home, I would grab them out of the freezer in a heartbeat, okay? So I think I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to switch into 2 loaves. So give me a second. I'll show you before I shove it in the oven, okay? Be back. Okay, look, this is a little bit better. And I did forget to tell you, I fooled my cookie sheet. And also easier cleanup. And I did a light coating of cooking spray on there. All right, see, I did this so it'll even get done a little bit better. I will give you the final time after I'm doing it kind of unusual the way I do it at home. Okay, so in the oven this goes, and I'll bring you back when it's done. I'm going to show you the sauce next though. Okay, now here's the sauce that I used to put on top of. It's so simple, but it's really good. 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of ketchup. Oh, wouldn't you know, I left my, let me grab my spatula real quick. All right, sorry about that. Okay, 1 cup of ketchup, that's it. And I'm just gonna come in here. You know, I love my handy dandy ball whisk. Use it for everything. I have several sizes. I brought this with me from Georgia. All right, all I'm doing is just getting all the big lumps out. After it's hot, you can stir it down too. But okay, believe it or not, now what I do is I put a saucer over, unless you have a bowl covered, I put a little saucer over the top of this just to keep the splatter down, because it will get hot and bubble up. 5 minutes. What I would do is I'd put it in 2.5 minutes, stir it, and then finish it off. Sometimes it only takes a couple of minutes left. You don't need the whole 2.5 minutes. But when it's done, I'll show you. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, everybody, it's been 5 minutes. I let it sit in there a couple of minutes, and that is hot. That is the best sauce ever. And then when the meatloaf is almost done, I'll reserve back a little bit for the table in case anybody wants a little more, but I'm going to put it on the meatloaf. Okay? When that happens, I'll come back. See you in a minute. Okay, something happened to the end of this video, so I am making do. Look at that. It came out fantastic. It was done to my liking, and that last about, say, in between 15 and 20 minutes, I had put some of that sauce over the top, and it just, stuck to and kind of caramelized, kind of like barbecue sauce would on a grill. And I put it on there, and it came out great. And I hope you try this. I hope you like it. I'm sorry for the messed up end of the video. So much was going up there at the time. And during this video, I was becoming ill and didn't know what was going on exactly. But anyway, we got her done, and I hope you'll try this. It really is a good meatloaf. I hope you will try it. Even if you're not a fan of meatloaf, if you try it this way, you'll love it. How was that? If you're not a fan of meatloaf, give this a try. I have had meatloaf in other places in my life, and while the cook meant well, it was horrible. But this meatloaf is truly a really good meatloaf. I really think you'll like it. So give me a try. And if you do try it and you liked it, give me a comment below. I'd sure appreciate it. Okay? Until next time. Bye.